have time. So I have not watched any Blu-ray movies on my Blu-ray player. I've had a Blu-ray player for at least, I don't know, for at least 5 or 6 months. I've had a Blu-ray player. Okay? So this teen girl and her, I guess her accomplice, brother, they decide to answer a Craigslist posting where someone was selling a PlayStation 4. Turns out the person selling it was a somewhat well-known semi-pro gamer. So basically, they get to the point of sale, they're face-to-face. I guess the owner realizes something's up, says, "Nah, I don't want to sell it. You can't take it." One thing leads to another. This young girl, teenage girl, young sister, she admits she pulls out a gun and shoots this man, killing him. And she just decided, just happened a couple of days ago, she just decided that she was not going to go to trial. She was headed for trial, and she copped a plea. I watched the video this morning talking about how sorry she is and how she wished she could take his place. And she said she'd give almost anything to change it. And I thought, almost anything? So you're not going to give your life for the life that you took. Shot this young man for a PlayStation 4. And now she got 40 years. And I would imagine she'll probably do every damn day of those 40 years. She's a teenager, so let's say she's 18, 19. That means that when she gets out, she'll be pushing what? 60? That means that if she does her entire term, she would have lived twice as long inside of prison than she would have been outside of prison. At 18 years old, she's about to go into the prison system for 40 years of her natural life. 40 years. So when she's 60, when she gets out, she would have spent twice as long behind bars than she would have outside, free, playing PlayStation, living her life, finding her dreams. And this was because of what? Money? I mean, how much money is a used PlayStation 4 worth? From what I read, I think the dude was selling it for like $350. How much is your time and your life worth? $350, man? I know her parents are just beside themselves. I mean, what do you say? I mean, what's done is done now. And now your baby has to go pay their time. And I don't know how old mom and dad are, but they may or may not be around. They may or may not be around when she finishes her sentence. Over a PlayStation 4, ladies and gentlemen, talking about how sorry she is and she wishes she could do this and she wishes she could do that. You just took somebody's child away over a PlayStation 4, man. $250. Is this new? I don't believe it is. I don't believe it is. These type of sad things have been happening since, I don't know, since people have been building and buying things and trinkets that other people thought were valuable. Kiki writes, I think that was totally uncalled for, and then he walks through his grass. They are so disrespectful. Yes, sir. She must have watched the video. Mila writes, I went to the media workshop. I thought I would see you there, Nate. Mila. I was not at the workshops, but I was at the event. And Mila, did you enjoy the workshop? What's the next step? Have you been in contact with the good folks who are doing the Black Agenda? Please tell us. I would like to know. Dale writes, a PlayStation 4, that is $350. The mentality of the youth these days. See, that's unfair, Daryl. Don't do that. It's not the mentality of the youth. It's the mentality of that youth. Okay? There's a lot of bright, young, intelligent people out there, black people, that are doing the right thing. In fact, there's many more who are on point doing the right thing. These kind of situations, Daryl, for me are anomalous. These are anomalies. Okay? These are something that are not the general rule. These are the exceptions of the rule. Clearly, this young girl, I bet she grew up in poverty. I guarantee it. I'm stereotyping here. Either she grew up in poverty and or there's some kind of drug issue. Because when you fiending for drugs and then you trying to hit a $350 lick, that next hit is life or death. So I can understand that. So maybe she was on some drugs. And you're like, teenager on drugs? Yeah, it can happen. Teenagers get addicted to drugs too. It's not just adults. It's not just adults. But that's what I would believe. And then there's something about growing up in poverty and then all of the outside things that come into play. Like there's a lot of things that surround people that grow up in these impoverished neighborhoods. There's so many different temptations, whether it be to do the wrong thing like drugs, guns, violence. All this stuff is readily available. Abuse rampant. Lack of hope and opportunities. I mean, all these kind of things. And then there's some parts of the impoverished cycle where they start to look at these, well, let's call it these cultural reference points, these markers like hip hop, like movies. And they start thinking like, damn, if I don't have any Yeezys, if I don't have any Jordans, damn, I'm not valuable. I'm not accepted. Okay. And it's all a mentality. It's all a mentality. I mean, it's the same thing when you have people who are being killed for Michael Jordans. There's really no difference. Those Jordan shoes were worth 200, 300 feet. But you living in these worlds, right, where these impoverished worlds where, hey, you got some Jordans, you the man. What kind of Jordans are those? Man, let me see those. And there's some people that crave those moments, as silly as it may seem. And I'm not saying that everybody who grows up in poverty is automatically going to be going down that road. What I am saying is that if you grew up in those impoverished conditions and you don't have the right parents, then you are automatically set up to walk down that road. Now, whether you do or not, it could be your parents' influence, it could be your peers, it could be you. But it's a bad situation out there. Tracy writes, but wait, Nate, a lot of us grew up in poverty, but we turned out okay. What is that? ? I guarantee you the difference is parenting. I guarantee you the difference is parenting. Parenting, community. I guarantee it. So, Tracy, let me ask you. You grew up in impoverished conditions, right? You grew up in poverty. But did you have mom and or dad there to lay it down, to say, no, this little kid can't come to our house. This kid, no, you can't hang out with this kid. Okay, some parents don't do that. Some parents are like, where you going? I'm going over to the Crips playground, and we're going to do a gang initiation. Okay, well, make sure you back in before the porch lights come on. Okay, Mom, see you later, right? Some parents, they're not really checking on their kids like that. They're not really checking. That's one of the biggest things a parent can do, I think, as your kid becomes older, is to decide and to have a clear-cut impact on who they associate with. Now, with phones and texting and things like that, the cyberspaces, it's very difficult. But in terms of who you show that you are okay with them hanging around, I mean, you don't have to let some kid come to your house just because your son or your daughter asks you. I don't have to do that. My daughter has had people come over. She has her friends come over. I've never felt as if I had to say yes. I do it because I decide I want to. I don't feel like any pressure from her. She don't pay no bills here. So I don't feel no pressure about it at all. So when little Buddha gets older, if she brings some little badass little girl over and I can see it's all trouble all over her, I don't have to let her be cool with little Buddha. They don't have to be friends. That's not something that I have to do. I don't have that responsibility. Pat writes, true, Nate. Just like the 3 young brothers who started the nonprofit Soul Brothers, Inc. They are donating shoes to Jamaican children. Right. Tracy writes, yes, that's what I had, Nate. That does make a difference. That means we need to strengthen the village and save those kids who don't have that. Yeah. But it's hard to save kids if they mama and daddy don't want the kids to be saved. I mean, how many times have you seen a kid in distress, but then you see the mother and or the father, and you're like, shh, that's their problem. Because you can tell they're not going to be open to it. You can tell they're not going to be receptive to it. to what you might have to share or to say. It's the truth. That is the truth. Good morning and welcome back. Our time is almost short. I want to say a couple things here. One, I want to remind you that the show will be made available as a podcast immediately following the program this morning. So you'll be able to listen to it. You can also download it. Hoping nobody had any issues with connecting this morning. I didn't get any messages saying that. But you can also scroll back through the archives of the show. And for now, each and every show that we've done so far is up on the website, nathanivey.com. Just click on the player at the top of the site, and you're going to see like 3 straight bars. And that's a symbol for a list, and it's an archive of all of the shows. Now, they're there for now. I'm not going to promise you that they'll always be there. I'm not even sure if you're interested, but perhaps you are. Most of them are clearly marked with the date and or a brief description of what we talked about on those particular episodes. But all of that's up now. So if you miss a show, you want to catch up, you can always do so. NathanIvey.com. Again, a special shout out to my good friends over at Soul Public Radio. They do good work, the first affiliate of the show. There's a link on my site right now, NathanIvey.com. You can check them out. And have a great Wednesday, a powerful Wednesday. And I hope you enjoyed the show this morning. And I'll be back with you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. for more superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure. Many shout outs to the Chop Shop and Team NI for holding me down. And I'll give you more details about my travels coming up just coming up next month, actually. You got conventions in Cleveland. You got the National NAACP convention here in Cincinnati. There's a few other things happening throughout the country, including D.C. But I'll let you know along the way. We'll do this together, okay? We'll do this together. Again, I want to grow this platform. I want to grow this show, and I want to bring other folks on and to provide quality content for you on this platform. And the only way we're going to get there is if I have your help. Just tell one person about the show, and we'll grow this. Just one person, okay? Have a great Wednesday. My name is Nathan Ivey, and until tomorrow morning at 7 a.m., I'm out.